Welcome to Heartland for Children's Let's Talk About It podcast, where we provide education and resources for family matters in Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. We're so glad that you've joined us. So now, let's talk about it.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Heartland for Children's Let's Talk About It podcast. I'm super excited today because we have a special guest with us. We have Raymond Clay, who is the Fatherhood Coach with Healthy Start, and he's going to be giving us a lot of great information about the fatherhood program that Healthy Start has initiated. And so we are looking forward to learning a whole lot about that because we know the importance of fathers. So welcome, Ray.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah. So let's get started. So Ray, tell us a little bit about just who you are and how long you've been in this field.
Well, this is going to my second year in the fatherhood field because it was actually just started last year. Mm-hmm. But I've been with Healthy Start for like 6 years now, and before then I was a Teen Pregnancy Prevention Alliance coordinator at the time. So I'm glad to be doing the fatherhood program right now.
Okay, so you had a lot of years in with Healthy Start.
I do have a lot of years
with Healthy Start. On both sides, the pregnancy side and then the fatherhood side.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, so you've been with Healthy Start for quite a while now. Are you from Polk County?
I'm not originally from Polk County. I'm from Gainesville, Florida. Okay. But I've been living in Polk County for, I would say, for probably over 20 years now. So I'll say I'm a Polk Countyan right now.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about Healthy Start and the Healthy Start programs.
Healthy Start programs offer programs to make sure that you have a healthy mother and also a healthy child. And we deal with anywhere from 0 to 3 years old as far as making sure that the baby is healthy and also that the mother is healthy as well.
Wonderful. And so you guys make home visits?
Yes, we do make home visits as well, in-home visits also, and we have other programs that actually deal with that process as well.
Right. So it sounds like it's super important for us to pay attention to a mother and a child, but you guys have also incorporated fathers, which is also a super important component of a healthy child.
Yes, it is very important to have the father part of the child's life because there's so many different things that the father actually brings to the child's life to actually make that child be more well-rounded when it comes to the growth of that child.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about just the importance of fathers in that growth process. Okay,
well, when it comes to a child, and one of the main things that we try to get the dads to actually see inside the fatherhood program is we want the dad to be present, to be active, and to be responsible.
Wow.
So those are the three things that we try to focus on when I'm actually conversating or dealing with the father so that he can understand his importance. Because one of the things I do want to share with you is that 55% of dads feel like they can be replaced or be used, the child can grow up without them. And that's a pretty massive number when you're thinking that 55% of dads feel like they can be replaced, or that the mother can actually marry somebody else or go with somebody else to replace them, or that the mother family member or male family member in the mother family can replace them as well. So
that's a large number.
It is.
And when we think about that connection for children with their fathers, that is super important, that there is some kind of bond and connection and there's presence and activity involved in that connection. So
yes.
That's wonderful to hear. What other information do you want to share about statistically about fathers?
Now, there is some great statistics that I do definitely want to share with you guys. So one of the first one is 130% kids that actually have their dad in their lives are more likely to hold leadership position. 55% of them are more likely to go to college. 43% is more likely to earn A's in school. 75% is less likely to have teen pregnancy. 80% is less likely to spend time in jail. 46% is less likely to use drugs. And 50% is less likely to experience depression. And there are some more statistics that I want to add to that, is that 75% of the people that you see incarcerated grew up in a home without a father.
Wow.
80% of rapists grew up in a home without a father. And that's how important it is to actually have a father involved into the child's life, how it affects the child when the child is growing up.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, those are staggering statistics, and that's super important to know, especially when we look at just the child's potential to be productive citizens themselves, going to college, staying out of trouble, staying off drugs, staying out of jail.
Yes.
And so we see the role that fathers really play, and I'm
Yes.
glad that Healthy Start has done this program. So tell us, beyond those statistics, Healthy Start starting this program, what is the importance of the fatherhood program in our community?
The importance of the fatherhood program is that it's to actually allow and to actually show the dads how to be involved in their kids' life. And also to show the dads that are maybe separated from the mother how to co-parent.
Oh, okay.
That's very important too, that the fathers need to understand that, and the communication when it comes to co-parenting and talking to the child. So there's very important elements, because one of the things we want the fathers to be is to be self-aware, to know fathering skills, to know parenting skills, and to be responsible. And that's one of the main things that we're focusing on when it actually comes to the fatherhood program.
Okay. So what are some activities that you guys do within the program?
We take them through a 12-session program.
Okay.
And what's the program designed to do, it starts from what a father role is in the family. The next section after that is what is a man? You know what I mean? So and it deals with discipline and communication and stuff like men's health. It deals with all those elements to get the father to understand his importance and his value in the life of the child, as well as in co-parenting with the mother.
Wow, that is so important, because oftentimes we think that parents should know how to parent.
Right.
And when you haven't been raised like that and you don't know the skills, then learning what a man is and learning what the role of the father is are key elements that people need to know in order to be successful parents.
Yes.
So I could really see the value in that 12-week program of just developing men into fathers.
Yes.
Because oftentimes they're lost themselves because they may not have their father in their lives.
Exactly.
Or they don't know the skills.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So what are some advice that you would give to a father?
Well, some of the main advice that I like to give to a father when I initially communicate with them and start the conversation is I want them to understand their importance. They need to understand their importance, and then understand their importance into the child's life. Because a lot of them don't understand the value, how important it is for them to be a part of the child's life. Because most of them grew up in homes or situations where they didn't have a father as well. Mm-hmm. So they don't know exactly what that may look like. So our idea is to mentor them, to help them get an understanding and an idea of what being a father looks like for them, so that they can display that in their child's life as well.
That is powerful. And then what are some resources available for dads? We know there's always mom and children and different things for, community, but specifically for dads, what resources are available?
There's some resources for fathers that fathers can actually tap into, is like Access Florida, Medicaid. Also this program. This program is tailored designed for fathers. Okay. That's what it's tailored designed for, is to meet fathers right where they're at, so that they can see the importance of them being involved in their child's life.
Wow. So how long, you said 2 years since the program has started.
Yes.
Tell us, have you had any success stories?
I've had a bunch of success stories, and I'll kind of take, I'm going to take one from an older guy, and then also I do juveniles who are fathers as well. And one of the I will start with is the juvenile. It happened about a couple weeks ago. The juvenile, I was telling the juvenile on our first session, I say, make sure you tell your kids every time you see them that you love them. Mm-hmm. Every time you see them, you say, I love you. And he was telling me, he said he was changing his son's diaper, and his son is only 1 year old. And he told his son, he said, I love you. And he said his son replied back to him and said, I love you too. Aww. And he said it touched him so emotionally, made him want to cry, to be able to experience that from his son as well. And one of the things, too, that I want to share with you is I was speaking with an older dad, and the older dad was going through some situations for us outside of his life. And I told the dad that he has to have a vision when it comes to his life. And he was like, I never thought about it like that my life vision affects my child's life. And he said, one of the things I want to make sure that I do is keep myself straight on the narrow path, so that I can be a part of my child's life while they're growing up. Yeah. And so those are some really good testimonies that I experienced.
Absolutely. And I didn't know there was a juvenile component of this. And so that's super important, because we have these young fathers who really need guidance.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Do you meet them at home, at school?
What I do is I meet them at home,
Okay.
so they don't have to drive or anything of that nature. I go to exactly where they're at, and we have the communication. We talk through the 12 sessions of the Fatherhood program.
Nice. And so that's very interesting and impactful. Those simple tips of telling your kid you love them every single day really makes a difference.
It does.
In everyone's life, right?
Absolutely.
Because there's a connection there. All right, so you are the Fatherhood program coach.
Yes.
You said that there's a 12-week program that
Yes.
fathers participate in. Can you give us a little bit more details about just kind of what your role is in those 12 weeks, what the classes look like, some things that the fathers may be able to expect?
Well, in the 12-week session, and here's what I do when I go into a home and I speak with the dad. I'm there to help mentor them, also to help them to be able to see the importance of them being in that kid's life. So in the 12-week sessions, one of the first sessions that it starts off with is, what is the role of a man in the family? And that to be able to get them to see what that looked like as far as in the past when they were younger, what that role was. So for some of them, they may not have experienced a man in their life. Right. So they're just giving you what ideas they may have, but they don't actually know what that looks like for themselves. Then we go into today's program as far as what is a father in today's society? What do that role looks like for them? And then they give you that, and then you go in the role, what is my role when it comes to being a dad? And that looks very different when you're looking from the past to now.
Right.
For us, what that role is to being a father. And I think that's so important for the program, is for them to be able to see that. And then the next section goes into what it takes to be a man. And that's important for them to understand that, because there's many ideas of masculinity, but to actually understand what it takes to be a man, the vision that a man has to have, how he's providing, how he's being there for his child. And when I say providing, I don't mean providing just financially, but I mean providing emotionally as well too. Right. So that providing part comes with two components. So they understand that important part of it as well too. Then we also have a component that we talk about discipline, and basically what it means with discipline is discipline versus punishment. And when you say discipline, you basically meaning you're guiding and you're instructing in the right way versus actually punishing a child for something that they may do as well too. And then it goes into men's health, and men's health basically deal with them being healthy themselves, because if they're not healthy themselves, they're not able to actually be here to participate in the growth of that child's life as well too. So those are some of the elements when it comes with the 12-week sessions that the father actually goes through in the 12-week session.
It kind of sounds almost like it could be therapeutic for them too, to just have these conversations with you. Are they filling out paperwork as well and just kind of working through?
And absolutely, and thank you for asking that. When I first meet a father, one of the things I do, I would like to give a father a fatherhood shirt. And with the fatherhood shirt, it allows for the father to know that, hey, you're a part of our group. You're a part of the Team Dad group. You're a part of our fatherhood group that we're building. You're a part of that group. And then the next thing that I give them is a 24/7 dad workbook. And that workbook has the 12 sessions in there that they actually work through. So we're working through those 12 sessions, and I encourage them to write on it, because you're going to see there's going to be things that their father don't know, our father didn't think about, our father is learning, and that's where you can always have that book to go back in and reflect on. Exactly. And I think that's very important that a father has that as well too.
Awesome. So during the 12 weeks, are there any times where you guys have to interact with the mothers at all, or bring them in a part of the conversation?
This is only for dads.
Okay.
So it's not for mothers. This is only for dads to be able to understand their importance of being a part of a kid's life. And one of the things I do touch on when it comes to communication part inside the 12-week session is to basically tell the dad how to communicate with the mother. Okay? And one of the things I try to tell the dad to do is to make sure that the main thing is the main thing. And when you say, what is the main thing? The child.
Oh.
The child is the main thing. So it's not your previous relationship. It's not what you or the mother may not be agreeing on. The main thing is making sure that you're involved in that child's life.
Oh, wow.
So that's the most important thing. So everything else fall away to the wayside, and we just make the main thing, which is the child.
I love that. Make the main thing the main thing. So that is a great tips for dad. Do you have any other quick tips that you would want to get to a father?
One of the things that I would like to say, and one of the reasons why the fatherhood program means so much to me, is because when my daughter was in the 6th grade, I obtained custody of her.
Oh, wow.
And when she first came over to our house, she was really upset. She had a word search to do. And we stayed up till 4 o'clock that morning doing a word search. I mean, she was like, I can't do it, Dad, I can't do it. And I told her, well, you can do it. And when she went to sleep, I said, well, you got to go to school the next day. But the reason why I share that is because those statistics that I was reading at the beginning, my daughter ended up, before I received her, she was making C's, D's, and F's, okay? She ended up graduating Bartow High School with honors. She ended up going to Bethune-Cookman University and graduated from there with honors. Now she's in a master program. She's living in Houston, Texas, got her own apartment, her own car, and she has no kids. So that's the success. The statistics that I was reading at the beginning shows you how that's a reality. And I experienced that, and that's the reason why I want to be able to present that to more dads, to let them experience that as well too, to be a part of their kids' life so they can experience that.
So you have lived experience and you could really share your testimony with fathers as you're engaging with them. Do you think that makes a better connection for you and them?
That makes a huge connection, because now they have somebody that actually went through that.
Yeah.
You know, so I can understand, you know, the problems that you may have in communicating with the co-parent, or the problems that you may deal with, but like I continue to say, just make the main thing, and then you'll see the success in your child that need to be there.
So how many dads are currently involved in the program?
Right now we have 10 dads in the program,
Okay.
but we're going to be offering a new session, what is called, we can do groups. So what that basically means is like we can go to a church and do their men's group, or we can go to the jail and do that group. So that's one of the great things about this program. We'll be able to do one-on-one sessions, and we'll also be able to do group sessions with the men's as well too.
Okay, so if a church or a community center or has a male group already, you guys will be willing to collaborate with them?
Absolutely, we'll be willing to collaborate with them.
Okay, do you also do stuff with DJJ?
We absolutely do. That's one of the things that we have with DJJ in Polk County, Highlands and Hardee is if they know of a father, a team that's a father, they absolutely reach out to me. And one of the things I do want to share this step there with it too is once the team reach out, then we get a consent form signed by the parent. And once the parent sign a consent form, I go to the dad's house, which is the teen's house, and we begin the sessions, the 12-week sessions.
Okay, so Department of Juvenile Justice, if they have involvement there, they have an opportunity to be referred to you guys if they're young fathers.
Yes.
And then if a church or a community group has a fatherhood group, you guys could connect with them to do group sessions there.
Absolutely.
And the group sessions, do you customize that based on the need, or is it also 12 weeks?
It's also 12 weeks as
Okay.
well. It's also 12 weeks, and that's one of the good things about it is if we're on one-on-one or from in a group session, they're still the same sessions, they're still the same topics that we talk about.
Okay, and key component that it is free.
Absolutely, it's free.
All right. So are you the only fatherhood coach?
No, well, right now I am, but we are currently in the process of hiring 2 more coaches.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited about that as well too.
That means the program is growing.
It's absolutely growing.
And it's definitely needed here.
Yes,
so
it
is this only for Polk County?
No, it's for Polk, Highlands, and Hardee.
Okay.
Yeah, so all 3 counties that Healthy Start serve is all the 3 counties that the Fatherhood program goes out to try to reach and help those fathers there in those areas.
Wow. So in 2 years, you guys are growing with additional coaches.
Yes.
You are covering 3 counties.
Yes.
You have 10 fathers currently engaged.
Yes.
And then now you're developing new group programs.
Absolutely.
So it really sounds like this program is growing
Yes.
and that it's needed in our community. So we really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And it's a great program for men that are becoming dads or men that are already dads. And that's one thing I do want to touch bases on. If the dad is married, we talk to them. If the dad is separated or divorced, we talk to them as well too.
Okay. And so it sounds like even before the baby is born, the dad could get engaged in this program.
Absolutely. If the mother is pregnant, the dad can get engaged with the program. Absolutely.
Awesome. So the fatherhood program, Healthy Start, how do we get involved and how do we get fathers connected?
Oh, thank you for asking. That's the one question I wanted you to ask. One of the things that you can do is you can reach out to me through email, or you can go to Healthy Start, which is rclay at healthystarthhp.org, or you can call me up at 863-512-5702, and then any one of those, you can reach out to me and communicate with me and tell me, hey, this is a fatherhood program. I may need this help.
Awesome. Now, I know one important question fathers are going to ask is, does this cost anything?
Oh, great question. Great question. It does not cost anything.
Good.
Yes, it's absolutely free once the fathers sign up with the program and go through me. And as long as they're not participating in any other program, as far as Healthy Families or anything of that nature there, they can sign up with me and we can sign them up with Healthy Start and be a part of the program.
But
so
when in doubt, they could call you to get more information.
When in doubt, they can call me to get more information.
Okay. So any parting words you would like to give to fathers?
One of the things I would tell the father is know your value in the child's life. It is very important. You cannot be replaced, but you have to understand to be a part of that child's life, to be active in that child's life, and to be responsible for that child's life calls for a child that is well-rounded and that grows up to be a very mature citizen.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Ray, it was a pleasure having you today. Guys, if anyone is interested in learning more about fatherhood program at Healthy Start, please reach out to Ray. We're going to link the information in the video so that you'll have it readily available for you. But again, Ray, thank you. This program is super important, especially when we think about just developing and growing successful citizens, which is our children. So thank you again for your heart for this program and for being passionate about helping fathers be active in their kids' lives.
You're welcome. Thank you for interviewing me.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Heartland for Children's Let's Talk About It podcast. There is a great need for foster families who are willing to open their hearts and homes to teens, sibling groups, and children with special needs. To learn more, check out the description for resources or visit heartlandforchildren.org.